Hello, everybody. How are you? How is everything in your world? I hope good, because it's time for another episode of Lyrics Explained, and that's a series of videos that I do on this channel where I explain the lyrics of your favorite songs so that you can enjoy your music even more. And guys, today we're going to talk about a song that's been on the charts for a while by the band Young the Giant. It's Superposition. Now, Young the Giant still doesn't have that top level recognition, so let's familiarize you a little bit with them. They're from Irvine, California. Consists of Samir Gadia, Jacob Tilley, Eric Canada, Payam Dustade, and Francois Comtois. I probably butchered those names. Formerly, this is from Wikipedia, formerly known as the Jakes. They were signed by Roadrunner Records in 2009 and released their debut album in 2010. So they've been in the game. This is the song that's on the charts right now, even though it came out in mid-2018. So let's go through Superposition and find out what it's all about. Verse 1. I don't believe in fate, no psychic vision, but when things fall into place, superposition. In any universe, you are my dark star. That's the entirety of verse 1, which goes against the grain of a lot of today's hits, which have 12, 16, 20, 36 lines, especially in hip hop. So the band has restraint, they have editing, they are concise, precise. Okay, so that is the one interesting right away quality that you notice about their writing, about their composition, about their lyric quality. They're not trying to inundate you with wordplay. What they're trying to do is set the stage and create a picture in your mind so that you can take your brain, take your cerebellum to another dimension. So let's break it down. I don't believe in fate, no psychic vision, but when things fall into place. Superposition. Now, what you may not know is Irvine, California is one of the hottest golf centers in the United States. And all of these guys in the band play golf every day, probably longer than they practice their instruments or sit down to write songs. In fact, some of the band members have been known to write songs while they're playing. They jot down their lyrics on the golf cart. And so what they're explaining here is that the key to golf, the key to your swing, is to get into a superposition. The superposition is the golf secret that everybody that plays the sport is looking for, that allows them to hit the ball off the face of the planet, down the middle of the fairway, 280, 300 yards, straight as a bird flies. And I'm not talking about a drunk bird that's had too many vodkas. I'm talking about a sober bird that's just flying straight, zoom, down the middle of the fairway. So where do they find out? How do they know about the superposition? Because your normal everyday golfer, and because they're not on tour, I assume they're average golfers. How did they find out about superposition? Because this is a secret that only the top instructors teach. Now, each of the top instructors, people like #1 rated instructor in the country who used to teach Tiger Woods, Butch Harmon, who charges $1,500 an hour. They teach the superposition only to a select group of people. Now, as a rock band, they probably move in a little bit higher circles than the average person. So they meet famous people that then refer them to these golf instructors. Butch Harmon's one of them. Mike Adams, #2 in the list, from Golf Digest's list of top instructors. Chuck Cook, who's been around forever, and Chuck Cook has a unique teaching style where he teaches his pros to cook, to actually use one hand to cook, like scrambled eggs or something like that, while they're learning the golf swing with the other hand. And then they switch hands, see? Because what he's trying to do is teach their brain to separate the hands. And so then when they get rid of the cooking utensils, when they move the stove away from the teaching tee, the hands come together, the brain puts that together, and they get a concise, powerful swing. So these are the kind of coaches that know about the superposition, and it's a concept that they're singing about in the song right there in the first verse. With the final line of verse 1, in any universe, you are my dark star. Now what that means is not everybody knows about it. It's a known secret. It's kind of like the animal style menu. It's like the secret menu at In-N-Out that only certain people know about. Now, you say, well, everybody knows about the secret menu at In-N-Out. They don't. In fact, I was telling this to somebody I used to work with, and they said, well, what's the secret menu? I said, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. And they went bananas. They lost their mind. So it's a powerful secret. That's the thing. The superposition in golf is a secret that has power around it. It's like an orb that's glowing with protons and neutrons, everything, electrons going around it, and you hold it in your hands, right? The reason that you don't know about it is that they only tell people they think can handle the power of the dark star that is superposition in golf, okay? Let's go into the chorus. I want you to want me. Why don't we rely on chemistry? Why don't we collide the spaces that divide us? I want you to want me. Now, this speaks to the constant, never-ending battle between a golfer and their swing. So in this chorus, he's saying, I want you to want me. Why are golfers constantly and forever battling their swing, tweaking it, changing it, modifying it, looking for new angles, new tips, new tutorials? It's because it's a fight that will never end. That's why he's crying out to his swing. I want you to want me. Why don't we rely on chemistry? Why is this so hard? Why do you constantly battle me, is what he's saying. It's a fluid game, so how come we're not working together? That's why I say top professionals like Chuck Cook, who came up with the unique and powerful cooking method, hence his name, where he teaches pros to cook at the same time they're playing golf. And the reason he has to come up with such unusual techniques is that the golf swing is some sort of unnatural force that golfers are constantly battling rather than unifying in one life force. Why don't we collide the spaces that divide us? I want you to want me. I want to work together. Every golfer that has tried to improve their swing cries out in vain, trying to get the natural forces of the swing to merge with their desire to be better. And when you think about it, it's a very emotional song because golf is a very frustrating game. Let's go into verse 2. Superstition aims with precision. Let me start again. Superstition aims with imprecision, but when things can't be explained, see? Superposition. In any universe. In any universe, you are my dark star. So he's repeating what we've learned so far, but again, with their clarity, with their conciseness. Let's say it again, verse 2. It's only 3 lines. Amazing. Superstition aims with imprecision. So he's talking about all of the, when you're on the golf range, all of the tips that the knuckleheads like you, the duffers, the weekend warriors that really don't know what they're talking about. They just have superstitions. They might have heard a tip from their uncle when they were 12 years old, and they've repeated the same old wives' tales, old golfers' tales over and over and over, and they're all wrong. Superstition aims with imprecision. That's what he's saying. But when things can't be explained, In other words, when your game goes to total crap, you're 2 over par going into the 14th hole and you shoot a 10, and you want to take off your golf shoes and cry into them. And we'd cry into your shoes because it would hold the tears, the buckets of tears coming out of your eyeballs. But when things can't be explained, superposition. So what they're saying is that if you can learn the superposition, which is one of the key positions in the golf swing that very, very few people know in any universe, the superposition is the dark star. It's the powerful knowledge that most people can't handle, and therefore most people don't know. Guys, it goes back into the chorus, that repeats, and then the bridge, and then back into the chorus again. It's a really amazing song. What they're able to do here with so few words. Have you ever heard that saying? That's something along the lines of, I was going to write you a short letter, but I ran out of time. It talks about clarity being so important, and the superposition is the key to golf's success. Guys, it's an amazing song. It's an emotional song. Every golfer recognizes themselves in this song. And the context of the battle, the internal battle that golfers go through, is transferred to any other emotion, human emotion. See, that's why this song has caught on so well, is that this battle that they talk about in the game of golf transfers to anything that you're fighting in life, and looking for that superposition that can make you understand it and overcome it. Give that song a listen. I think you're going to like it, and I hope that helps.